Coach Kalen DeBoer spoke to the media following the game. I love this soundbite right here, talking about the run game and specifically the play of Jam Miller. As you know, Jam Miller, the first running back for Alabama to eclipse the 100-yard mark, thought he played fantastic. Here's Coach Kalen DeBoer highlighting the play of his running back.
Lean on the run game late, especially with Jam and the way he played.
Yeah, it really was. It's huge. It takes a lot of pressure off the play calling, and obviously Ty too. When every play doesn't have to be a pass or a protection, and just good to see Jam out there doing his thing, breaking loose. And bigger chunks, right? Bigger chunks, and I still feel like between the line and the tailbacks, there's still a few more opportunities that we can improve on, and we need to keep taking the next step in the run game. But I thought it was something we worked on a lot. We knew we were getting closer last week, and I feel like we again took another step this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Love it. I think I like the play of Jam versus Georgia. You were never going to run for 100 yards versus Georgia. That just wasn't going to happen. A team built to stop the run. But I still like the play of Jam versus Georgia. Tonight against Vanderbilt, as I told you, I expected him to have a big performance. They went to him. I was a little bit I felt they should have went to Jam more in the second half. Not too big of a deal, but I thought they would have took some of the air out late in the game. Anyways, we continue with Coach Kalen DeBoer.
Could you speak to the short yardage carry for Caden Proctor? And last week you mentioned the pass had been in since fall camp. Has this been in since camp too?
Not as long. Less moving parts on this one. Just give it to the big man and let him rumble. So he did a great job. I mean, it's just hard to bring down a guy that's that size and that athletic. So happy that he did a good job handling the football and securing it. It's not something he does as much as the other guys, and it's a big moment in the game. So love the idea to put the call in, love the play call, and good execution.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think what we're starting to see from Coach Grubb, which I didn't know, is how much he likes gadgetries, right? So there's some times that I like the play, like I like the pass to Caden, I like the play here where you hand it off, but there's other ones where I'm kind of scratching my head. Like I go back to the first possession of the second half where Alabama's driving, it's tied 14-14, and you have a 3rd and 5. And you come out and you're in Wildcat. And I felt at that point, Alabama kind of found some momentum, some rhythm, right? And maybe with Ty and a crossing pattern, I don't know. Maybe you go to Jam Miller there, you come out in Wildcat and it stalls and you end up kicking 3 instead of, maybe putting 6 on the board. But we do see a lot of gadgetry from Ryan Grubb, something I didn't know about him. I'm curious, if you followed Ryan Grubb for a long time, is that something about his playbook that stands out as a lot of gadget type plays? We continue.
Katie.
How did that first possession coming out of the half kind of set the tone for what the defense was going to do in the second half, shutting out Vanderbilt?
Really key. One thing I think we've done a good job here as of late until today was coming out of the locker room to start the game defensively, and that didn't happen. It didn't happen at the level that we wanted. The first quarter, giving up a couple runs and giving them some life. And so really coming back out of the locker room, I was really proud of the way the defense, and there were definitely was some adjustments that I know we made in the second to third quarter there that led to, what we're doing. And that's part of plan A and plan B and plan C that you have when you're working throughout the week. You put those things in and you have them ready to go, and you got to change it up, right? Because you got good players on the other side too that are and coaches that are going to attack you if you just sit in the same thing. So I thought, again, our guys, understanding the other parts of the game plan and then going and execute it, I was really proud of them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the second half is where Alabama's defense took a big step forward, in my opinion. I think in the first half it was frustrating watching Vanderbilt kind of do what they did last year to Alabama, and even the shovel passes, things like that. But I thought, look, credit to Alabama's defense in the second half. They came out. Vanderbilt had the ball to start. They stopped them. They stopped them again, put 2 field goals on to go up 20-14. Vanderbilt's then again driving, and you're in the fourth quarter, 12 minutes, and Diego Pavia throws an interception. So that's 3 different times that the defense came up with big stops, and that's making adjustments, and that's coming up with plays. It's a second consecutive week that Alabama's defense has come up with big plays, right? I mean, look, against Georgia, 4th and 1, you thought they'd maybe go for a field goal. Alabama comes with a big stop. LT Overton rises up. In this particular game, Keon Sapp comes up. Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. We continue.
Kalen, Diego was such a big factor last year. He had the one, I think, 36-yard run, but you guys bottled him up otherwise. What was the plan to try to contain him?
Yeah, a lot of the just the discipline, and the hardest ones are when he takes off and runs and then still keeps his eyes downfield, and you're drawn to him. You come off your man, whether it's zone, especially in zones, and I know he got a couple first downs that way where he just flipped it out there. So everyone's just you got to contain, and that's easier said than done. He gets out in space, and they do a good job moving the pocket, so he's not just sitting back there. And then they got enough other threats, and they can get rid of it quick. The option game and all of that, they got good personnel besides him.
Yeah, you're going to have to stop good quarterbacks in this league, period. You stop Gunnar Stockton, you stop Diego Pavia, you get ready for Missouri's quarterback, who is also dynamic. You go Garrett Nussmeier, you go Joey Aguilar, John Mateer when he comes back, Jackson Arnold, the list goes on and on. You're not going to stop seeing good quarterbacks. I thought Alabama did a good job against Diego. The guy is a playmaker, and he's right. For everything that he can run, he does keep his eyes downfield, and he can throw the ball downfield. I thought he made some pretty good plays, but I think for the most part, Alabama did a really good job stopping another good quarterback in this league, which, again, is a positive for the defense. Think about this. Georgia's defense held to 21 in Athens. A team comes in here that is scoring, 55 points a game or whatever, only puts up 14 points. Again, look, I know it's frustrating to watch chunk yardage plays, but the big picture is, they're stopping guys and they're stopping teams from scoring.
Kalen, quarterbacks are such magnets anyway, but could you talk about the confidence this team has now, or has had really, in Ty and the way he's played, and certainly on big downs?
Yeah, we do. And you can feel it in the calls that we're making. We're putting, we're aggressive. I mean, we're, backed up in our own territory and throwing the ball down the field with some play action and, shots. Ryan catches one down the right sideline there. And when you can do those things and you trust your quarterback as a play caller, and he goes makes those plays, there is a lot of confidence. I think, we still haven't hit our full swing here like I think we're capable of as an offense, especially with finishing drives. But there's no doubt that I think our defense sees what we can do offensively, and now, it's a little bit of a balance too, where the offense sees what the defense can do if they just continue to stay the course and do a good job. The adjustments, the physicality continues to get better and better as a football team. I love the way we compete right now.
The play of Ty Simpson has been fantastic. I think he continues to take steps forward each week. And I felt that in this particular game, he was a little off balance. He was a little maybe off target in the beginning of the game. And, he got his first interception out of the way. You didn't see him sulk. He came back. He played at a very high level in this particular game against a good Vanderbilt defense. And I thought he made some laser-type throws. I mean, the play and I think the drive that stands out most to me in this particular game is Alabama has 90 yards to go or whatever. There's a minute and 11 seconds left, and they're trailing 14-7. Ty Simpson orchestrates an incredible, you can call it 2-minute drill or whatever it was. That was a lightning drill to me. And they go down the field. He hits Williams, Horton, and then Jeremy Bernard for a touchdown pass. That was fantastic. And you're like, well, why don't they do more of that? Well, then you put the defense out there more. So operating at a high level when you have to. And that's probably one of the drives of the game, because you go in 14-14. You could have went in 14-7, right? It's a different game then, or you could have gone 14-10, whatever. You go out tied, defense comes out and makes a big play. The offense, defense shine right there.
Kalen, hey, what was the week like with the team, but specifically with Ty emotionally, just knowing there was going to be some noise coming out of the other side and things like that? How did you want him to get caught up in that, or did you not want him to? What was the mentality there?
Well, there's enough to where, and it's not just this week, right? There's enough to where you can't help but hear it. I can hear it in the questions we get asked, in press conferences and with y'all and stuff. And so, it's out there. And the thing I'm really proud, and this is what I talk to the guys about, our guys right now are just showing up and doing the work. That's what's got us to this point, and I just keep reminding them, and it gets really tempting, and I'm sure there'll be something, something that pops up, but they're doing a really good job of just showing up and doing the work and focusing on us. And, this is what you get. You get these games that are going to go 4 quarters in the SEC. I showed them a stat. I think you guys probably find something where I'm wrong on this, but I believe there was 12 games going into this weekend. I think 8 of them were 7 points or less. The other 2 were 10 points or less. These guys, won big at South Carolina, but these games are going to go down to the wire. And so I just love the way that our thought process and our mindset is that you got to be in it for 4 quarters. We've used the analogy of a 15 round heavyweight fight, and that's what it's got to be every single week. And we got to go do that again this next week against Missouri.
Exactly. I mean, it's a week-by-week mindset, and I get it. There's always going to be outside noise, maybe not as much as this week because the whole Diego Pavia, Johnny Manziel stuff, that's just outside noise, right? You got to block that stuff up. You got to be able to have laser focus, and this week it was Vanderbilt. Last week it was Georgia. Guess what? A 5-0 Missouri team awaits next week in Columbia. I'm sure they'll be top 15 as well. They have a really good offense, I think number 2 in the nation or whatever. And then after that, guess what? Tennessee. And then guess what? After that, there's more challenging opponents in the SEC. That's just how it's going to be. You got road games left against South Carolina. You got a road game left against Auburn. You take on Oklahoma, as mentioned, the LSU. So it's a very challenging schedule. It's much more challenging than the teams in the Big Ten are playing, and the ACC, the Big 12. This is an absolute gauntlet, what is going on right now. Any given Saturday, but it's a week-by-week process. Love the mindset of Coach Kalen DeBoer. This guy is taking a big step forward in terms of turning that negative into a positive after Florida State, and love to see it. Big win for Alabama. You celebrate till 12 p.m. tomorrow and you get ready for Missouri. Hey, as news happens, I got you covered right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Please hit the thumbs up. If you like the content, you like the delivery, a lot goes into this, and I really appreciate you guys' support inside the comment box by just hitting the thumbs up. Feedback always welcomed. As news happens, I got you covered right here on Bama Football on YouTube. See ya.